the month of this month, the Hebrew month of Nisan. When I speak about this month, it's the month of Nisan. It is the Hebrew month calendar of. In this month is the beginning are things that trace back to Solomon. How the dark realm and today's capitalism, today's society in the background, you'll come to a place of understanding in their degrees. And you'll understand why the Freemasonry uses the blueprints of the building of Solomon Temple. Most of those things are aligned with Solomon before his fall. But when his fall came, we have to understand, how did his fall start? What led to his fall? Ecclesiastes and Songs of Solomon. It is a drop in the ocean of what Solomon did and accomplished and wrote. We read in the book of Proverbs, what we read in the scriptures and the Bible comes from the works of Solomon. What we read in the Bible, you'll be surprised. All it is held by witches, sorcerers, Freemasonry, Illuminati. All that form of sorcery and witchcraft is structured, the architecture of the kingdom of darkness. We are going to peel back the layers of what is called Solomonic sorcery. The highest form of sorcery and witchcraft is held, or we have to understand how the kingdom of darkness functions, and how the kingdom of darkness. This isn't just another spiritual series. It is a forensic audit of the shadow kingdom journey of what we can call the great eviction. For the next 14 days, we are moving from battlefields to the courtrooms of heavens. So as we'll be walking through a 14 days law, they use covenants and treaties. They use that are holding your life in captive. And for the enemy to hold your life in captives, held by high-level spiritual administrators or entities or beings, fighting warfare that never ends, because they are trying to muscle where they should be using mandate. What if I told you that the bad luck, the financial leaks, and the stagnation in your family line are actually judicial liens, or what are called contracts? What makes most of people spend their lives? I would like to bring us into understanding of welcome to this. So, as it was written in the scriptures in Torah, God instructed Moses to use this month to be the beginning of months. So in this praise, we begin by understanding. Yes, when the year started in the month of January, we made resolutions, we made prayers, we fasted. So as we may see victory across the year and in the years to come. But year after year, you have been praying, you have been seeking God, want to pray God for breakthrough. You go to spiritual warfare. But most of us, we miss and lose battles. Even myself, I found myself losing battles in the spiritual warfare because I didn't have the understanding and the clarity of what the enemy is using against me. And whatever I tell you, in the kingdom of darkness, we do not only have accusers of brethren, we also have accusers of brethren. Accusers, many entities and beings, they rise against us. So, in the next coming 14 days, we shall also look to why spiritual warfare fails when the legal paperwork is not filled. We'll understand why We want to do spiritual warfare during the foundations of our families, our foundations of where we come from, dealing with the issues to do even with the nation. We keep praying and engaging and asking God to have mercy concerning our governments. We'll understand why our governments and politicians, peoples in businesses, peoples in ministry, in families, they are in continuous praise of captivity. And it is in this understanding that you come to understand why we need to enter into that praise, in the heavenly praise, in the courts of heaven, and undo the legal structures that the enemy uses. How we shall also understand, I know most of us have ever heard this, he sold his soul to the devil. We will come to understand how a soul is sold to the devil, how the enemy purchases your soul, how we are in a constant slavery in our lives, in our families, in our schools, in hospitals, in businesses, in career. We come to understand why celebrities, for them to be in the position they are in, why do we find that there are levels of their lives where they seem to be captured, where status, even you can't find people who are seeking success in their businesses, in their families, but they are seeking success in ministry, in media, in sports, in entertainment, but an area in their lives is not working. Either we find ourselves why maybe we are succeeding in sports, or we are succeeding in our careers, in entertainment, in media, but in a family, there are issues. Or you have issues with health. And in these areas that they are succeeding, they are not making head or tail. So, let me come again. We are seeking to succeed in finances, in businesses, in politic arena, in ministry, in sports, in media, in entertainment. Every area we seek to succeed. Then there are areas which we are failing. For example, I try to do well in ministry, but career-wise, I'm not making it. Or academically, I cannot succeed. I try to do well in business, but in the area of ministry, I cannot succeed. I'm suffering. I try to do well in politics, but my family in squambles. I try to do well in finance. I try to do well in media mountain, but I cannot succeed. The price to pay for me to do well in the media mountain is in the area of family. My family cannot succeed, or I can't hold my family. I cannot put it in order. Why? It's because of what is called liens or treaties or covenants, taxes, where we are taxed in the spiritual realm. So we are going to look at these different areas of why we do not make in our lives. In this area, you will learn how to govern the elements, how to govern the creation, the winds, how to govern your industries. If you are doing an industry, maybe in mining or in agriculture, in technology, every area the Lord have given you, we are going to see how we can govern these areas and stand in that place of authority. So as we proceed, we shall look tomorrow, where we are going to look at the mechanics of the courtrooms of heaven. I'm going to show you how to present evidence, identify your advocate, and secure restraining orders that sticks. And as we understand the application of the courts of heaven, then we shall deal with our accusers or the entities that have authority over our lives, that are hindering in our lives. We shall understand what a soul trade is. Let me say that again. We shall understand how the enemy have taxed our genetics. The more you seek God, the more you should also come into that place of health, where your health should also be improving, the health of your family. Not the more you seek God, the more people start to get sick. That the more you seek God or you seek to succeed, maybe as an academia, but you lose in the area of family. You try to make sure family stands. You lose in the area of finance. You work in finance. You lose in the area of friendship and your social capital. Why do all these things happen? So we will look at these things. We'll pray about them. And it will also take you deeper on how the enemy have been invoked in our lives and also by our past generations, and be able to overcome that. And I also, as we proceed in these 14 days, I shall be having short clips and videos that in the coming days you shall understand how to overcome the enemy and his battalions. And you also understand how your soul can be captured. Some of us, we think, is only musicians and those people in the places of influence, either in politics, either in entertainment, that sold their soul to the devil. And whatever I can also tell you, maybe your soul was already captured and sold to the devil, you don't know. There is a percentage of your soul fragment that is already captured in the realms of darkness that you need to retrieve, that you need to reintegrate with your whole being. So as we proceed and I would like to welcome each one of us. Kindly be prepared for the next 14 days. And as you'll be watching these videos, they will be liberating. And as you get liberated, some of us might seek or might need assistance. You are welcome to send me a private message directly, either in Messenger in Facebook, or if you watch it in YouTube, you send me an email or you send me a message through YouTube. I'll read the comments there. If it is in TikTok, send me a message. And that message, I'll read it, or we'll also make an appointment where we can pray with you. We can seek the counsel of God with you and go deeper to things that are affecting you. So blessings and shalom, and be blessed in this. Shalom. They accuse us. We know that the enemy, Satan, is called the accuser of brethren. The Hebrew man Kareda.